The mom-led e-commerce model, investors miss. The package arrived at 3 in the afternoon, right between the school run and dinner prep. She turned it over in her hands, feeling the weight of something small but significant. Inside was a product she'd never asked for, but somehow needed. And in that moment, between the chaos of her living room and the hum of her phone, a question surfaced. What if I could be on the other side of this? She wasn't chasing venture capital or Silicon Valley dreams. She wanted something quieter. Something that could grow in the margins of her life between bedtime stories and grocery lists. The kind of business that didn't require her to choose between being present and being purposeful. But every article she read made e-commerce sound like a battlefield. Inventory, warehouses, advertising budgets that made her stomach turn. She almost closed the tab until she stumbled on a story that changed everything. It wasn't about a tech founder or a serial entrepreneur. It was about a mom in Ohio who built a 6-figure e-commerce store from her kitchen table. No employees, no office. Just her, a laptop, and a model most investors overlook entirely. Part of her still felt guilty for wanting more, as if ambition had to disappear when motherhood began. As if dreaming about financial independence somehow made her less committed to her family. But the guilt was quieter now, because she was starting to see that building something didn't mean abandoning anything. The model she discovered wasn't new, but it was invisible to most people looking from the outside. It's called dropshipping, and while the term gets thrown around carelessly online, the reality is far more strategic than the hype suggests. Here's how it works. You build an online store, your own branded space on the internet, but instead of buying products in bulk and storing them in your garage, you partner with suppliers who handle inventory and shipping. When a customer orders from your store, the supplier ships directly to them. You never touch the product. You never see the warehouse. You simply connect the customer to the solution they're searching for. What would you have done in her place? Start with what you know, or chase what sounds most profitable. She chose the first path, because she understood something most beginners miss. E-commerce isn't about selling everything to everyone. It's about solving one specific problem for one specific group of people. And she knew her group well, because she was one of them. According to recent research, women-led e-commerce businesses that focus on niche markets see up to 50% higher customer retention than generalist stores. The reason is simple. Specificity builds trust, and trust turns first-time buyers into repeat customers. She started small, a Shopify store, a handful of products, a brand voice that sounded like a conversation, not a sales pitch. She didn't have a marketing degree or a background in business, but she had clarity, and in e-commerce, clarity often beats capital. Her first product was something she'd been searching for herself, eco-friendly storage solutions for small homes. Not because it was trending, but because she'd spent 2 years trying to organize her own space and kept hitting the same wall. If she needed it, she figured, someone else probably did too. Then came the doubt, the kind that whispers louder than failure. Her first week online, she made 0 sales. Her second week too. By the third, she was ready to shut it all down. Maybe success just wasn't meant for someone like her. Maybe the timing was wrong. Maybe she should have waited until the kids were older, until life was less chaotic, until she had more experience. But she didn't quit. Not because she was fearless, but because she'd already learned the most important lesson. E-commerce success isn't about going viral. It's about showing up consistently, even when no one's watching yet. She started focusing on micro-actions. 1 social media post a day. 1 product improvement a week. 1 email to her tiny list of subscribers. She stopped comparing her beginning to someone else's middle. And slowly, something shifted. The breakthrough didn't come from an algorithm or a lucky break. It came from a message. A customer, her 9th sale, sent her a note saying the product had solved a problem she'd been dealing with for months. That message became a testimonial. That testimonial became social proof. And that proof became the foundation of everything that followed. She smiled, not because it was easy, but because it was finally hers. Here's what most people misunderstand about mom-led e-commerce models. They assume it's a side hustle, a hobby, something to keep busy. But women building these businesses aren't playing small, they're playing smart. They're leveraging flexibility without sacrificing ambition. And they're doing it in ways traditional business models can't replicate. The data supports this. Home-based e-commerce businesses led by women are growing 40% faster than other small business segments. Not because of privilege or luck, but because of adaptability. These entrepreneurs build systems that fit their lives, rather than lives that fit someone else's system. Sometimes growth doesn't look like progress, it looks like staying. Staying present when momentum slows. Staying curious when doubt creeps in. Staying committed to the version of success that actually serves your life. She learned to work in focused bursts. 30 minutes before the kids woke up, an hour after they went to bed. Nap time became her most productive window, not because she loved the pressure, but because she'd learned to protect those pockets of time like currency. Her workspace was still her kitchen counter, but it no longer felt like chaos. It felt like possibility. By month 6, she was generating consistent revenue. Not life-changing money yet, but enough to prove the model worked. Enough to cover groceries and contribute to savings. enough to feel like she was building something real. The model itself is deceptively simple, but execution requires nuance. Here's the framework she followed, the one most investors overlook because it doesn't scale the way they expect. First, she picked a niche she understood emotionally, not just intellectually. She didn't choose based on market research alone. She chose based on lived experience. That emotional alignment made her marketing feel authentic, because it was. Second, she built her store on Shopify, not because it's the only platform, but because it removes friction. It handles payments, security, mobile optimization, and integrations without requiring technical expertise. For someone building between diaper changes, that simplicity matters. Third, she connected with suppliers through platforms like Spocket and Sideshipping. These aren't affiliate links or promotions, just tools that worked. They gave her access to quality products without upfront inventory costs. She tested samples herself before adding anything to her store. If she wouldn't use it, she wouldn't sell it. Fourth, she focused on content over ads. She didn't have a budget for paid marketing, so she leaned into storytelling, blog posts, social media, email. She shared her journey, the mistakes, the doubts, the small wins, and people responded because they weren't just buying a product. They were buying into a story they recognized. What helped her most wasn't just the tools, it was realizing she didn't need permission to start small. She tested a few approaches before finding what truly worked, and honestly, it changed everything. This isn't a promotion, just something that made her path a little lighter. The resources she used are standard in the industry, but what mattered more was her willingness to adapt them to her own rhythm. Then came the part no one talks about, the mental shift. The moment she stopped seeing her e-commerce store as a distraction from motherhood and started seeing it as an extension of who she was becoming. Not in spite of being a mom, but because of it. Motherhood teaches you things no business school can replicate. Patience, resourcefulness, the ability to pivot on a minute's notice, the capacity to care deeply while staying practical. These aren't soft skills, they're survival skills. And in e-commerce, they're competitive advantages. She also learned to measure success differently. Not by how much she was making, but by how much she was learning. Not by how fast she was growing, but by how sustainable that growth felt. She stopped chasing vanity metrics and started tracking what actually mattered. Repeat customers, profit margins, and time spent versus income earned. By the end of year one, she'd built a store generating steady monthly income. Not millions, not even six figures yet, but enough to feel the shift. Enough to know this wasn't luck, it was strategy. And enough to realize she'd stumbled into a model most investors miss entirely because it doesn't fit their template. Investors look for scale. They want rapid growth, massive teams, disruptive innovation. But mom-led e-commerce models thrive on the opposite. Sustainable growth, lean operations, and deep customer relationships. It's not flashy. It won't make headlines, but it's profitable, flexible, and built to last. She breathed, not because the work was done, but because she'd finally stopped waiting for permission to begin. Here's the invisible truth about this model. It's not about the products you sell. It's about the problems you solve and the trust you build while solving them. E-commerce is a relationship business disguised as a transaction business. The moms who succeed understand this instinctively. They don't just optimize for conversions, they optimize for connection. They reply to every message. They care about packaging. They follow up after delivery. They treat every customer like a person, not a metric. And that care compounds over time. What would you do if you knew this model was accessible right now? Not someday, not when things calm down, but today. She also discovered something unexpected. The e-commerce skills she was building were transferable. Email marketing, copywriting, customer service, product sourcing, profit analysis. These weren't just business skills, they were life skills. Skills that made her more confident, more capable, more self-reliant. And the best part, she didn't need anyone's approval to keep going. No boss to impress, no investor to pitch, no permission slip required. Just her laptop, and a commitment to showing up even when it felt uncomfortable. The transformation was gradual, but undeniable. She started seeing herself differently, not as someone stuck at home, but as someone building equity in her own future, one order at a time, one customer relationship at a time, one quiet morning at a time. Her kids noticed too, not because she talked about it constantly, but because she carried herself differently. More purpose, more presence, more proof that wanting something for yourself doesn't take anything away from the people you love. When she poured her coffee the next morning, it was still hot because this time, she wasn't rushing. She was building. Disclaimer: this content is for educational purposes only and does not replace consultation or assistance from a professional. Always consult a qualified professional for any questions related to finance, business, or investments. The e-commerce model she discovered isn't for everyone. It requires patience, consistency, and a willingness to learn in public. But for moms looking for a path that honors both their ambition and their season of life, it's one of the most accessible, scalable, and sustainable options available today. Tell us what part of her story resonated with you most and where you're watching from. Your journey might just inspire the next one. Tell us which country or city you're watching from. See you in the next video.
Bye.